I hope it happens for our market for multifamily. It doesn't change our industry. Job growth and the recession, those are all micro issues in my opinion. The macros are still strong. The demographic projections are still strong.
A lot of people are kind of predicting or like thinking that a recession is going to occur this year overall, just like in the not necessarily in the real estate, but just overall. And I'm curious what your thoughts, if you think that might happen, or you think this is just like a small blip.
Well, I think the uh, Fed wants to control inflation, right?
Yeah, I think that's what they
And
think. Yeah.
for them to get a handle on inflation, um, they are hoping for a big slowdown, and
Mm,
a recession is the punctuation mark for that slowdown. So I hope it happens
hmm
rather quickly than later,
Yeah.
because looks like our inflation is not taming as well as the Fed thought they could tame it.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that there is a recession in the next 2 or 3 quarters, and I hope
hmm
it doesn't drag on into next year.
hmm
And for our market for multifamily, recession or not, no recession, we still need apartments for people to live in,
Yeah.
and it doesn't change our industry, in my opinion. We may have
hmm
some collection issues if people lose their jobs,
Yeah.
but I think in a market like Austin,
hmm
especially middle income jobs are always going to be hard to come by, and hopefully people don't lose their jobs, and we keep up the jobs in the at least in the middle market, and
hmm
in a good way.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're right. I think like some type of correction was needed, because especially like once like COVID happened, all of a sudden like prices just skyrocketed when there hadn't been much like change in values. There was probably going to be some correction at some point.
That's right.
And then Austin's such a unique market in the sense that like we have a college university, we have all these tech companies that there's just like a very natural drive to want or people just want to be in Austin. I think it's now in the top 10 cities now. I think I have to check on that on the count, but we've grown so significantly, and I think that even if a recession were to occur, it would be very mild in Austin in comparison to other cities.
We hope so. We hope so. And in Austin, the good news is, even if the with the supply and the
hmm
job growth and the recessions, those are all micro issues, in my opinion.
hmm
The macros are still strong.
Yeah.
The demographic projections are still strong. 2030, we're expecting about 2.7 million people in the Austin metro.
So.
2040, we're
uh
expecting 3.6 million people. 2050, we're expecting 4.5 million people. So I think the macros are there. I think
Okay.
housing is much needed here in the metro, and I think
Mhm.
the housing market will continue to do well.
One of the things I'm curious is like, so when you're kind of like putting these numbers, you mentioned what the future is going to look like. How are you pulling these numbers? Are you using like U.S. like consensus data, or how are you doing this? Or how are
Yeah,
you kind of formulating these numbers?
these are all numbers put out by the chamber and the U.S. Census and
hmm
the population projections. Uh, Whoever does those charts, but these are all you can find them with our chamber on the chamber website as well.
Okay, nice.